Hi everybody, welcome back to this week's video, and I'm really excited to share this with you today. I've been spending a lot of time talking with people about the holidays and how busy and stressful it can be. So today's topic is going to go right hand in hand with that, and it's how to eat well when life is busy. And if there's ever a time of life that life is busy, it's now, right? As we're getting into the holidays. So hopefully today's video will help you a little bit going through that. So I'm really focusing on this because this is the number one objection that I get from people when I talk to them about eating healthier, or when they ask me why I eat the way I eat. Of course, I follow a whole food, plant-based nutrition approach, and a lot of people are really curious about that, but their first objection is, oh wow, that sounds like that would take a lot of time. So I want to address this question and this this excuse of not having enough time to eat well. So really what we're going to get into today is looking at both sides of the equation. I could give you tons of tricks and tips and life hacks to make eating healthier easy, but I think I would be amiss if I didn't talk about the other side of that equation also, which is how much time do you have available in a day? So we're going to talk about both sides of that today. If you're new to these videos, welcome. My name is Danielle Dinkelman. I am a National Board Certified Health and Wellness Coach, and I am a plant-based nutrition educator. So if you're seeing this video on my YouTube channel, Healthy Living with Danielle, come on over to Facebook and find our Healthy Living with Danielle Dinkelman Facebook group. It is a free group, and I do these videos live every Friday, and I'd love to see you in there. And we have a lot of great content that comes and a lot of good discussion in there as well. So come and join us. All right, so like I said, we're going to take a look at both sides of the equation when we're talking about eating well when life is busy. The solution, like I said, is not only just to manage our time, but to open up more time. So I want to dive into that today. I'm going to talk about that side, and then with the second side, I'm going to talk about how to simplify healthy eating, because I think we do overcomplicate it and we think it has to be this really big, hard thing. So we're gonna hit both of those today. So let's talk about time. I'm a big time management buff. I've read a lot of books on it. I've studied it in my coaching training. But I think the best and most useful thing that I ever learned about how to use my time more wisely is what I'm going to share with you today, which is how to say no and how to say yes to the best things. So I'm going to have two resources listed in the description of this video for you, because the idea that I'm sharing with you right now of being able to open up more time in your life so that you can have those healthy habits that you want, there's no way I could cover it in these next 3 or 4 minutes. So I would really suggest that you take a look at the links down below. I have a video on how to become unbusy. What I love this video because it really gets into the idea that we almost what am I looking for? We almost look at being busy as like a good thing and as an honorable thing. And it's really getting out of hand, in my opinion, in our society. So if we can flip that around, and if we can say, actually, I want to be less busy, then we can create a lifestyle that has more space for the things that are most important. So that's my first tip is to start to say no to things and draw boundaries and create space in your life for the things that are most important. So the other thing that goes hand in hand with this is that you do have to spend a little bit of time thinking about what is most important to you. Is health important? Is eating well important to you? And one of my favorite exercises to do is to list out kind of the main things that I'm kind of trying to juggle or prioritize and decide what is most important. So you could even do a holiday time exercise with this, and you could jot down the things that are kind of demanding some of your time. And I love to go through each of those things on the list and go look at number 1 compared to number 2 and ask yourself which one is more important. And the one that's more important, put a little mark next to it. And then go number 1 compared to number 3. Which one is more important? And so on and so forth until you have compared every single thing on your list to all of the other things on the list. And you're going to have all of these tally marks, and it's going to become really clear really quickly what truly is most important to you to spend your time on. And then I would invite you to take a look at those things that are lowest on the list and see if you can just eliminate them. Are there things that you can say no to? Are there holiday parties you can back out of? Are there commitments that you can uncommit yourself from? Freeing up more time and creating more white space for relaxation and rest and time to prepare healthy food is a big part of this equation. So take a look at the links down below. I've also linked one of my favorite books on how to do this in your life and in your time called Essentialism. It's a fabulous book. I linked a video down below that's actually a visual summary of it if you want to get a taste for what it's about. But I highly recommend that book, Essentialism by Greg McKeown. And hopefully that helps a little bit. So we can't talk about taking, time to be able to eat better without also looking at, okay, how am I spending my time and can I spend it more wisely? And am I wasting my time? Am I overcommitting myself? Am I spending time on things that really aren't the most important? That's why I love this idea of essentialism. Is it essential that I show up to that party? Is it essential that I say yes to that activity or that commitment? This is an important part of our lifestyle as we're looking at this. Okay, so that's a little bit of my soapbox, but I hope that you'll take a look at those links below and consider those ideas to create more space in your life. Let's get into the healthy eating tips. There is a way to simplify healthy eating. And part of that, I have 3 things to share with you today. So number 1 is to meal plan. I know some of you might not like that, but I am telling you, if you want to save yourself time and if you want to be the most effective, efficient, healthy eater and busy mom or busy dad that you want to be, you need to have a plan, okay? And I actually have a very thorough, fantastic episode on this YouTube channel about meal planning. I will put a link down below, so check that out. But create a meal planning system that works for your life, and I walk you through that process in that video, so go check that out. But I promise, the 20 minutes that you spend Sunday night or Monday morning or whatever to create your meal plan for the week will save you so much time and energy and stress throughout the rest of the week, okay? So as you go into these busy holiday weeks, plan for it. Be aware of, we're going to have no time to fix food that day, so what can we have prepared? What can we have ready to go? Set yourself up for success with a plan. All right, my second tip for kind of simplifying our healthy eating so that it takes less time is to choose simple recipes. And if you're not choosing simple recipes, if you're choosing really complex recipes, get good at simplifying them. This is something that I do all the time. And in fact, the 4-week meal plan that is available on my website is all these recipes that I either created or I adapted to be very simple. They're still delicious, but I can put together all of these recipes, except for the ones that are on Sundays. I can put all those recipes together in 30 minutes or less. So it is possible, I promise, and it's so worth it, especially if you're a busy mom like me. You have to be realistic with this, right? We can't just be making these fancy Pinterest-worthy dishes all the time that are so elaborate and that our family's probably not even going to enjoy anyway because it's too strange and unfamiliar. So look for those recipes that are simple, that are still healthy and nutritious, but that are simple and quick to prepare. I'll have a link down below as well if you want to take a look at that meal plan. Along with this tip, I keep ingredients in my house that are basically setting me up that if I ever needed to make what I call my cop-out meals for dinner, that I could do that in a pinch. One of those is bean quesadillas, okay? I take whole wheat tortillas, I open a can of refried beans, I spread those inside, I microwave them or I grill them, and my kids are totally happy with that. And I pull out the carrot sticks and the cucumber slices that I have in the fridge, and I pull out my vegan ranch dressing, and there, we have dinner. Like, it can be simple. We can kind of take the pressure off of ourselves of making dinner so dang complicated, all right? Okay, so my third tip for you today is to maximize the time that you are spending in the kitchen. So the best way that I know how to do this is to double, triple, quadruple everything that you are making. I personally don't love the idea of like meal prepping or batch cooking necessarily in the way that most people look at it. I don't love the idea of carving out an entire hour or two one day a week to prepare all of my meals for the whole week and then eating through it. Maybe that works for some people, but I just don't like that. So what I do is I do have about 30 to 60 minutes prior to dinner time every day of the week that I know that I can put food together. And when I am spending that time, like I said, I'm maximizing it. So for example, if I am making our spaghetti sauce and we're having spaghetti for dinner tonight, I am not going to just make a single batch of that will serve us for tonight and then we'll maybe have some leftovers to eat throughout the week. No, I am going to double or triple that sauce recipe because all of my sauce recipes freeze really well. So I know that I'm spending this 30, 40 minutes in the kitchen making this beautiful whole food, plant-based, no oil, no sugar sauce that's super nutritious and delicious. And I know that I'm actually creating convenience food for myself. So I keep containers on hand that I can either put them in a plastic container or whatever you have that they go in the freezer. And I've created a system, maybe I'll do a video and show you guys this sometime. But I have a system that I can label that, and I have a big chest freezer outside, and I try to keep that stocked with freezer meals. But it's just something that I'm creating as I'm making my dinner because I'm doubling and tripling stuff. So some other examples of things that you can do this with are anything that is like sauce based. So like my spaghetti sauce I do this with. I have like a nacho sauce that I do this with that I can freeze. My stroganoff, my Alfredo, I have a faux cheesy noodle sauce that I can freeze. This is so awesome, guys, to have big batches of this because it does take a little time to create those wholesome sauces, but I maximize it by freezing it. The other things you can think about freezing, the bases of your soups. So I have a minestrone that I make. I have a vegetable barley that I make. That would be really easy to make a giant batch of it. Just don't put the noodles in it, and then throw that in a bag or a container in the freezer for another day. Other things that freeze really well, curries, okay? Kind of along that same line as the sauces and the soups. Those are gonna freeze really well. So again, make a big triple, quadruple batch if you need to. And then I wasn't sure how this would work out at first, but I have been doing this for like a whole year now. And I will tell you, all of my grains and legumes, so like beans and lentils and things, those freeze really well as well. So when I make a big batch of Spanish rice, I freeze a bunch of it. I make a taco mix that's rice and beans, and I throw that in the freezer, and it does just fine. I can pull it out weeks later and it's still just as good. And I have my own convenience food. I have my own packaged food I can pull out of that freezer. I have a rice pilaf that I make that freezes really well. Like, the list just goes on. So do you see how you can really maximize that time in the kitchen? Double, triple stuff, freeze it, and then you've got those available for your busier days. Okay, so there's a few ideas. So again, for our food prep ideas of simplifying that, meal plan. You must meal plan. Get to the point that you can punch out a meal plan in 20 minutes, okay? Again, there will be an episode linked below that you can learn how I do that. Number 2, choose or adapt recipes that are simple, okay? Find simple recipes that you can put together quickly, and batch everything you make. Just double, triple, and freeze. Okay? And then this other part of the equation, take a hard look at how you're spending your time. Are there things that you're spending your time on that you can start saying no to? Is there ways that you can create more space in your life? And there's some really great resources down below to explore that side of things, because if we ignore that, I think we're kidding ourselves. We can't just keep cramming more and more and more into our 24-hour days. We have to be using that time more judiciously. We need to be saying no more. We need more white space. We need more boundaries in our life. So take a hard look at that. All right, that is all for today. Thank you so much, those of you that joined me live, and thanks so much for watching this recording. If you'd like to share this video with other people, just hop over to my YouTube channel, find this video and share it all you'd like. I would love that. And find us in the Facebook group, Healthy Living with Danielle Dinkelman, and I will see you next week.